TSM Myth used to be one of the best Fortnite players in the world. He used to be one of the most watched Twitch streamers and racked in almost 1 million views a video on his Myth YouTube channel. But as you glance on his page now and you look at the dwindling viewership, you ask yourself, what happened? Why is somebody who was once regarded as the best builder on Fortnite dwindling in YouTube/Twitch viewership? Ask anybody this question and they'll give you the same answer. That Myth started playing other games that had nothing to do with his fame, and that led to his downfall. And while that does make sense, it's not the whole truth. It has nothing to do with him not doing good in the tournaments, as some YouTubers want you to believe.
Definitely stopped watching him when they saw he wasn't as good as they thought he was.
But before we talk about the fall of Myth, we have to talk about the rise of Myth.
Yeah, got me in this party all up in his zone.
Myth created his YouTube channel on November 3rd of 2013. However, the oldest video on his channel only dates back 3 years. This doesn't mean that he waited to make content though. He probably live streamed him playing Call of Duty or Halo just like every other big gamer back then. However, fast forward 3 years later and he's dropping Paragon gameplay. Nothing too big, but Myth wanted what every other YouTuber wants, to blow up and be able to showcase that talent to the world. People think that YouTube is just uploading videos in hopes of going viral, when there's so much more that goes into it. It's a job that so many people want, but only few succeed in getting. Aspiring gamers were looking at all these famous gamers and thinking, all I have to do is play the game and I'll get views. This is easy. And when they don't get it, they're discouraged from continuing. The question was, would Myth be able to achieve the success he yearned for? Or would he be yet another person who failed to achieve that dream? There were plenty of popular games at the time, but the game that was about to come out would take the internet by storm.
So nasty that it's probably somewhat of a travesty having me. Then he told the people, you can call me your majesty. Keep your battery charged, you know it won't stick, yo. And it's not his fault you kick slow.
On September 26, 2017, Epic Games would release Fortnite Battle Royale, a game that was very much like H1Z1 and PUBG, just with a 100-player cap. In its first 10 months, Fortnite amassed an audience of 125 million players and netted $1.2 billion in revenue. Even today, the game makes $1.5 million per day. The game quickly became one of the most popular games in the world, even topping League of Legends. It was addicting. Nobody knew how to play. Nobody knew how to shoot or build. Just getting a kill made people excited. Ninja, being a fairly popular streamer from playing H1Z1, decided to start playing Fortnite and was soon very good at the game, with some even saying he was the best Fortnite player ever. Now Myth had an option. He could continue making his miscreated and Paragon videos, or he could start playing this new popular Fortnite game. Little did the quickly growing Fortnite fandom know that he would soon take Fortnite by storm. Myth would begin uploading Fortnite videos in September of 2017 with the first one titled, He Ate That Rocket, and it was the first time that Myth had saw so many views on one video, so he decided to start posting Fortnite videos. He would eventually get really good at the game, even getting 20 kills in one game, which was almost unheard of. The only other person on Fortnite pulling those stats regularly was Ninja. This grasped people's attention, but it wasn't until this clip of Myth building started circulating around the internet that people started taking him seriously. It was almost unheard of for somebody to build the way Myth did in Fortnite Season 2. As mentioned before, Fortnite was a new game, and a lot of people didn't know how to play. Myth just happened to figure it out before everybody else. He even made a tutorial on how to build the way he does, and it got more views than he had ever seen on his own channel. He was quickly regarded as the best builder on Fortnite. Myth had done the thing he had dreamed of for a long time. He blew up. But it wasn't luck that blew him up. It was skill. The fact that he could build as well as he did back in Fortnite in early 2018 really set him apart from his competition, which made him stand out. Everybody was talking about Myth, and YouTubers were making videos talking about just how good he was. He would continue to upload building videos on his channel, which would get more views than the rest of his videos. In December of 2017, he had hit 21,000 subscribers. 3 months later, he would hit 800,000 subscribers. And the very next month, Myth would hit 1 million subscribers. Myth would go on to grow rapidly, pulling in about 300,000 subscribers a month. However, for the time being, the month after Myth hit 1 million subs, a new Fortnite player started to take off.
Keep your hand on your gun. Don't you trust anyone. There's just one kind of man that you can trust. That's a dead man or a gringo like me. Be the first one to fire.
Myth was on the rise. He was one of the fastest growing YouTubers, as well as one of the most popular Fortnite streamers. People all over the country were taking notice. Myth was eventually approached by TSM, an 8-year-old esports team looking to expand their roster. He would join the Fortnite team containing TSM Hamlins and TSM Daquan. This was a huge boost for Myth as well as for TSM. Not only could TSM make more of a name for themselves while also learning from Myth, but Myth would now have a squad to wreak havoc on Fortnite with. Eventually, TSM would become one of the most respected Fortnite esport teams to ever exist. Myth, Daquan, and Hamlins would destroy everything in sight, boosting their personal pages as a result. They would rack up so many kills and they were extremely feared as a result. That is, until the first ever Fortnite tournament, a few months later. Then everything started getting murky. The first ever Fortnite competitive mode came out in May of 2018, a few months after Myth had hit 1 million subscribers on YouTube. He was sitting at around 2.2 million. We were now in season 4 of Fortnite. People knew how to play. They were getting better with building. At the same time, Tfue, a Fortnite player regarded as one of the best ever, was blowing up and faster than Myth ever was. He couldn't just build. He would solo squad and pull in insane amount of kills. He ended up signing to FaZe, which really jump-started his career. He would go on to show people how good he really was, destroying the Fortnite tournaments alone and then later destroying them with cloaks in the duo tournaments. Myth, however, would struggle during the tournaments. The competition was more advanced now. Ninja and Tfue had multiple run-ins with each other, with Tfue coming out on top. Pros like Dr. Disrespect and Dr. Lupo were known now. And for the first time in his Fortnite career, Myth wasn't one of the best anymore. He would struggle at tournaments against pros, and this was quickly noticed by the Fortnite community. He didn't lose that many fans though. Yes, Tfue was the new popular streamer, but Myth was still pulling around 20k concurrent viewers on his Twitch stream. So you might be asking, well, when did his YouTube start to go downhill? And I'd answer that question by saying 10 months ago, on August 14th. Myth would upload and stream Apex Legends gameplay for the first time. Apex was quickly gaining traction at the time, but it would quickly lose the hype and be forgotten just as fast as it had started. It was barely a popular game, and this is where things took a nosedive for Myth. Myth would go on to make Modern Warfare videos, Warzone videos, and Valorant videos, none of them giving him the large number of views he used to get. He stopped gaining a large number of monthly subs. There were a few times where he would post videos, and the videos would show signs of old Myth numbers, but it wasn't consistent to the rest of his recent videos. This has prompted several YouTubers to make a video calling Myth irrelevant. This is very wrong. Not just because he's still pulling in a good amount of viewers on Twitch, but just because somebody is not talked about doesn't mean that they're irrelevant. When you're talking about, your favorite rappers, of course J. Cole's going to come up, but on a day-to-day basis, people probably aren't talking about J. Cole. It's whoever the hottest artist out at that time is. Right now, 6ix9ine is more relevant than J. Cole. Being irrelevant isn't necessarily a bad thing. With this being said, however, Myth isn't popping nearly as much as he used to. So that's it, huh? Myth was outplayed and outclassed by better Fortnite players and started uploading different content, which led to the very low numbers now? Well, yes, on the surface it appears that way. But Myth isn't the only Fortnite player who has seen a decline in views. Even though he still has a good amount of viewers on Twitch, almost everybody who got views from playing Fortnite are seeing that decline. But why? Because Fortnite is slowly dying. It's a try-hard game now, and it isn't nearly as fun as it used to be. Everybody knows how to build. Most of the OG skins got brought back, and it's just not as exciting anymore. This has led to less people searching up Fortnite-related things, which would lead less people to watch Myth, of all people. So even if Myth started to upload exclusively Fortnite again, he'd never see the numbers that he used to see unless he got insanely good at the game and was just blowing out his competition. When Myth blew up on Fortnite, he didn't think that the game would become so competitive and stressful so soon. Maybe we'll see Myth come back to his peak when a new popular game comes out.
Keep your hand on your gun.